Well, I'm going to say good afternoon. I don't know what time you're going to be seeing this, but it's Friday afternoon, and I'm sitting here in my office, and I'm like, this has got to be one of the worst weeks many of us have gone through. You're angry. I'm pissed off, and it was so unnecessary. Really, it was completely unnecessary. You would think that with the challenge that we are facing, that the city would have brought its A game into this week. And they didn't. They just didn't. We started off Tuesday, Sunday, Monday, a lot of conversations, looking at ventilation reports. Yeah, you can bring the staff in, but not the rest of the kids. So just shut the buildings down. So we get to a place, we shut down 21 schools, 10 buildings. So you think, all right, we got to, they're really on top of things. And then the PPE stuff starts. There's a lot been delivered, but nobody knows where it is. Or one school has it in the campus and didn't know that they're supposed to share it with anyone else. And there was nobody told superintendents and principals that it's your job to make sure everyone's sharing their PPE, or that we have schools that aren't on Department of Education or city land, or they might be part of District 75, where they have many annex sites, and nobody sent the PPE to those places. So you start getting angry at that. And we had the amazing group teachers out in Brooklyn, District 75 folks, who show up. There's no PPE. Nobody's cleaned their building. Nothing has gone on since March inside of their building. So what do? Together as a staff, they go out on the sidewalk. And they're like, we're going to start planning for our kids. But they're out on the sidewalk in the Department of Ed, and everybody's scrambling around. And what do they tell us? They're like, well, it's not our facility. It belongs to the state. What the hell does that mean? Your employees, our members who dedicate their lives to some of the most challenged students in our city, are sitting on a sidewalk, and you're all telling us an excuse why. It's because it's not your property. It's your school, though. And then someone who's in charge of special ed actually had the nerve to tell one of the vice presidents here, it's not my responsibility to get safety supplies to the sites. You're in charge of special ed. Who the hell's responsibility is it? Literally, she used it's not my job line. If it's not your job, you shouldn't have a job then. Because if you look at those teachers and the paraprofessionals out on the sidewalk preparing for their children, that's what this is going to take to get this school system open safely. It's not my job. It's all of our jobs. You're all doing what you need to do. You're going into schools. We know we're angry. We're frustrated. We have anxiety about what we're trying to get done, but we're doing our jobs. You do yours. Then we go into Tuesday. Custodians are really stuck in the middle. They have to do a deep cleaning on it every day, and they have to disinfect every day. But the city cut their budgets. So, members, keep doing what you're doing. Send those pictures. Do the right thing. Keep sending out the pictures. Dirt in the school, let it go. Problems? My ventilation is clean, but there's fur coming out of my vent. Yeah, that doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? Send those pictures. Keep it out there, because the only people who are going to protect this school system are us. And then the testing. So when you test over 15,000 school employees in a 1-week period, you're going to get positive test results. That's what any medical doctor will tell you. At a minimum, you should be getting 150 positive tests. That's a 1% positivity rate. And then the DOE is shocked and surprised that people are coming back positive. And then everybody's scrambling. And then some of you are telling us, I have a positive test result. The DOE is like, and it's not even the DOE. This is the Department of Health. This is H&H. They're like, we don't have confirmation. What the hell do you mean you don't have confirmation? You think someone's lying about having a positive COVID test? And now we play this dance for a couple of days. And then they're angry. Like, why is the union going out saying how many confirmed cases we have? Because we don't hide. This is safety. You have an agreement with us. This has to be transparent. You have literally 24 to 48 hours to inform and then get the information out, do the testing and tracing, give information to the staff that they all know that there is a positive case, the test and tracing takes place. It's like they didn't know that this was going to happen. And the sad part is, it's Friday afternoon. We have 22 confirmed cases. That is really a phenomenally low positivity rate, but we're still angry because all of this crap happened during the week. So I'm sorry if this came off as me having a therapy session with you, but I feel the anger and frustration that you are all feeling, what you're showing on social media, that you're sending to me, if the city truly understood that we won't know how to take care of our schools. We will always take care of our schools. We fought for our schools. We've stopped people who tried to decimate our schools. We've always been there for our schools because we know it's our schools. It's not city's halls. It's not the mayor's schools. These are our schools. These are our schools, our children's schools, our parents' schools. And we have made a promise to them that we're going to keep their children and their families safe. We're going to keep ourselves safe as well. So we're going into next week. You know, I did it today, the city, very happy, but really they're changing the whole process for how they identify positive tests and how fast they're going to move. I'm like, great, but in the end, your process means nothing to me unless it works. Very happy that you want to move, but in the end, I'm not happy because you just moved. You got to show us that it's going to work. Because if you don't, then we know where this goes. Because we have an agreement with the city of New York. And it says that they are responsible for doing a whole bunch of things. We are responsible for working and taking care of children. We are responsible for wearing our mask in the school, for keeping our social distancing. We understand what we're responsible for, but we also know what you're responsible for. And if you can't make that happen before the children come into schools, then we're not going to let you open these schools. And that's where we're at on this Friday afternoon. I really thought the city would have brought their A game today, this week, and they didn't. But we're going to take a deep breath. We're going to work through I'm going to work through this weekend. I hope you don't. Next week, we'll see where this all goes. I need your chapter leaders are getting a form about operational complaints because we know staffing and scheduling is going to be a nightmare. And there's some things that the Department of Ed has not figured out yet. And we're not going to allow you to be used in a way to solve a staffing problem. That's not your problem. We have an agreements on what can and can't be done. And we know right now that many of you are being asked to do things or being told to do things that they don't have a right to make you do. So we want your chapter leaders, contact your chapter leaders or whoever's acting as your chapter leader in your building and make sure that information is being sent out to them this afternoon. And then on Sunday night, we're going to send out to all of our chapter leaders. Every school is responsible for a 50-item safety checklist. We've been monitoring this, and I want to thank all the chapter leaders. Always thank you, chapter leader. Over 1,000 of them who have already given us preliminary reports. But on Monday, we want a new status update of every one of those 50 items for every school. We need that information. I want everyone to know we're collecting this information because that's how we keep each other safe. And that's how we hold their feet to the fire. And that's how you create real transparency. Not by holding a press conference and saying everything is great and all the tests are coming back in a timely manner when we know that's not true. So again, please take some time this weekend. We'll see where this goes next week. Keep up all the social media, keep up all the communication, and let's just keep moving forward. And then we will be the ones who will make sure that our schools open safely, or they're not going to open because we're not going to allow you to put us, our children, and their families in harm's way. God bless and have a good weekend.